Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound, and we are going to embark on the Sunday night edition of the Monday Market Report, right? Yeah, good old silliness going on. This is for the week ending April 11th, 2021. We got 15 phenomenal coins, all from great collections that we are going to highlight today. And as you guys know, for all of you regulars out there that check in with the Monday Market Report, this is a report highlighting all graded coins post 1900 modern era. Oh boy, we got some good ones here. We got a couple really nice coins, but things are slowing down a little bit on good old GC, and with good reason. There's a few pretty substantial auctions coming up here in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, somewhere around there. So we're going to start it off with Legend Auctions Regency 44 sale, okay, which takes place at the Bellagio, fancy, in Las Vegas, Nevada. All right, so that'll be the first one. There's going to be also an interactive online bidding. Of course, if you can't make it to Las Vegas, you can always, check out the website, legendauctions.com. And then right after that, Heritage Auctions is going to be doing another signature coin sale. That's going to be from the 22nd to, I believe, the 25th. All right, so there's going to be a nice suite of higher-end collectibles, coins, currency, you name it, that will be in full display for your buying pleasure. So we're going to see how strong the market continues, and it is still rather robust even by today. However, are we seeing any chinks in the armor? All right, are we seeing a weakness in the market? I don't know. We're going to have to pay closer attention to some of those, marquee coins that help define the modern market. Now, the older, like 19th century, Civil War era, the Federal Age, which is, like early 1800s, late 1700s coins, has never been hotter. Good luck finding any sort of inventory out there of those particular coins, especially the coins that grade toward the top 10% of their respective populations, because as soon as they come up in the marketplace, they are dried up and scooped up about as quick as ever. And that's great to see. Nice to see coins finally getting their due in a very, very active collectibles market. All right, so how about we go ahead and jump into the first preliminary auctions that have sold, the most notable ones from great collections. I want to thank everyone again for your support of Blue Ridge Silverhound, and today we're going to go ahead and check it out, the 1955 Lincoln Wheat Cent. But this is, again, a coin that I like talking about on occasion, because these coins sell pretty much weekly, all right, which also, kind of illustrates how available they are. I'm not going to say common. I'm not going to say these are the most common coins you could find, but the ever popular double die obverse 1955 is indeed a coin that is highly accessible in today's marketplace. Generally, you'll find them pretty easily between like AU50 to as high as mid-state 63 or 64. Oftentimes, they'll be brown or red-brown. The specimen you see here is a full brown example. You got little pockets of mint red, hidden in the protected areas of the date around the Lincoln portrait area in the letters here. Good luck reading that. But it really does say, "In God We Trust" ×2. All right, so this is always a popular coin. This one's a 64 brown by PCGS, and it is also CAC certified for extra bit of measure. And this one sold for $4,725. This is a really nice, acceptable market piece. And, I don't find anything wrong with picking up a brown example. I think the brown examples are by far and away some of the more prettier patinaed coins compared to the red browns, where some of those can actually look a little splotchy and kind of kill the eye appeal of them. Okay, so we have a couple of our favorite Lincoln steel cents. As you guys know, these are zinc-coated steelies, is what we call them. This one's a 1943S. It is a super intense, high-graded PCGS Mid-State 68. We've seen these being sold week in and week out at this particular grade level pretty steadily between $2,500 and $3,000. And, well, this one didn't quite make it there. And that's why I said at the beginning of the show, are we beginning to see chinks in the armor of the coin market? Because this one right here only sold for $1,896.75, which is quite a bit. Well, it's about almost 25% less than what the normal kind of range of value that these these particular coins sell at in a mid-state 68. So that's kind of interesting. All right, so we've seen kind of like one of the chips to fall, and this is of course a popular coin because of what it is. All the other copper coins that were struck around this particular date pales into comparison to probably the best oddity that you could think of that the U.S. Mint actually produced, and it is this 1 year type steel cent. Now, there's probably a pretty good reason why this particular coin here sold for a lot less than what the normal is. Now, it could just be that that the supply is finally met up with the demand, and there's not many people that need this particular grade, seeing as how the population is quite big on this one. But we did have a 43D that sold in the same auction within seconds of each other from the 43S. Now, observe the grade. This one is a mid-state 68 plus. So it is a half point grade higher than the 43S that we talked about a second ago. This one by PCGS, and this one is just downright a pretty coin. However, this one, compared to the last 68 plus that had sold on auction, I would say, 3 months ago? Yeah, this one is up there. It actually surpassed that one by a pretty good margin. This example sold for $9,843.75. I just figure call it good. With taxes, you're at 10 grand really easily. So this is our subject coin. What's also really cool is you also see some concentric lathe lines here, and it's not all over the coin, but when you see them right here, it's pretty neat. It just adds a little bit more character to this example. And I would say that a lot of the big registry set Lincoln Cent aficionados were probably concentrating more on this coin than the 43S, because I think a lot of them already had a mid-state 68 43 San Francisco in their stable, and they needed a pure thoroughbred to really round up all of the other coins in that registry. And here you go, 68 plus 43D. So let's say, call it like it is, a $10,000 coin right here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, not to be outdone is a 1934D. Now, yes, it is a 1930s Lincoln, but however, this is also quite an available coin in mint state red. It's quite common. They are out there, maybe not quite to this particular grade level. This one is a mint state 67 plus full red example, but there are 65s and 66s that can be had for a fraction of the price. But of course, this coin right here is more than likely tailored to another high-end registry set. And with all things considering, this one did sell for $4,725, which is pretty strong for this particular date, especially when you get into the more common date of 1930s Lincoln cents. 1934 is generally the gateway type date for the Lincoln Cent series, where availability at higher grades just kind of busts wide open. And here we are, a really nice, strong sale. And it's been quite some time since I've talked about an Indian head cent, but here you go, just barely making the 1900 threshold. We have a 1902 example here. This one is a stunning PCGS Mint State 66 plus, and guess what? Full red. All right, and that's kind of like one of the key kind of attributes that some of the most discerning Indian head set collectors look for. They want full red examples because I think, above all else, full red Indian head cents with no blemishes, no carbon spottings on there, are probably some of the most exquisite coins I've laid eyes on. And it doesn't matter if it's an 1864 or an 1877 key or a 1905, in which many millions were made. It really doesn't matter. You could pick any sort of date and kind of make the case that every single one of those coins in a suitable grade and full red is worth collecting and worth selling, because these things sell for quite a bit of money. This one right here brought home $2,441.25. All right, on to nickels. And then this is one of my favorite kind of funny variety proof Jefferson nickels. And people do look for these. But I think there's not nearly as many people looking for them. And that's why we don't see a lot of them come out onto the marketplace that often. We have a 1971. As you guys know, these are produced at the San Francisco Mint. So they are supposed to have an S mint mark just under the date. Guess what? This one doesn't have it. So this is the no S variant Jefferson nickel. And it only shows up on the 1971. Now, there is also a 1990 no S Jefferson nickel that you could look for. Those are few and far between. They are quite rare. But this one right here is one that you shouldn't ignore either. This is a Proof 67 Cameo. Wait, that's a Lincoln cent for the 1990. Oh, never mind. 1971 no S Jefferson nickel. It's the one Jefferson nickel proof coin that you should add to your list. Again, it does have cameo, so it's got a little frosting. I don't know quite what this is. If that's on the coin or actually on the slab. So it looks like, like a little piece of plastic or some grease or something on that center section of the obverse. But this one right here, guys, of course, you should be looking for these. I know it's kind of like a ho-hum date of proof set because there's no silver in it. But the real buy-in is this nickel here. This one sold for $1,165.50. Held back a little bit by some sort of mystery something right here. So I don't know what the deal is. I felt like this one probably should have hit like $1,500, but you never know. People saw that little anomaly and probably think, I don't know. I'm just not going to invest the money. I'll just wait for the next one. All right, so Philadelphia, 1950s Jefferson nickels are just notorious for some of the weakest, crappiest strikes that you could find on a nickel. This one, again, no exception. You can see just a lot of flow lines, on both the obverse and the reverse of the coin. The strike is, I would say, decent. I would, on a normal grading scale, I'd probably give this a B as far as the overall luster factor. It does have full steps. I also wanted to make sure that you guys knew that. It's a Mint State 66 FS. Another relatively tougher key, 1950s Jefferson nickel with full steps. So finding that strike designation can be a little challenging. This one is also a part of the Sunset Collection. They are up to part number 144. And this one sold for $1,306.12. All right, bring on the Buffaloes, starting out with the 1937D. And no, this is not a three-legged variety. This is actually just a regular Joe Schmo business strike, no frills, no funny errors or varieties. This one is just a really pleasant high-end coin. PCGS Mint State 67 Plus, CAC certified. And yes, it is also one of the most common minted Buffalo nickels you could find out there today. So finding and trying to cherry pick a high grade example for under $50 is actually quite easy. You go to any coin show and more than likely you're going to find your lion's share of 1930s Mint State Buffalo nickels. And if you pick the cleanest, nicest one, you might have a coin that could be worth quite a bit of money. All right, so this one right here did sell for $2,730.38. I also wanted to add that this is not a top pop grade. The grades get a little bit tougher as you get up to 68, and I believe there's even a 68 plus of this particular date. Same with the 36S. Don't let the San Francisco mint mark fool you, because this is still quite a common coin in mint state conditions. So if you're out there looking for a nice raw example and you come across a really nice clean example, you could probably score one for between $100 to $150. And I tell you, if you got one that has very few little nicks and marks, it's got strong luster, among a few other things, the strike is just really hammered on this. Then you'll have a coin that if you decided you wanted to send it off to the graders, you might have something going. You might have, I guess, that lottery coin that you've been striving to find. This one, the 67 plus, no doubt about it, is just a bomb. And it sold for $2,210.62. Another relatively common date. I mean, we are seeing a trend here of 1930s buffaloes that you should not ignore. So if you've purchased some of these in the near recent past and they're all in really nice shape, then make sure you keep an eye out for these type of coins in the future. Because if you see it continuing to trend up like they are, then you might want to actually send out your example. Now, it's got to look like this. This 35 right here is a mint state 67 plus. It's just a gorgeous, very clean, extremely lustrous example. It's also CAC certified. And this one sold for $2,531.25. And the final nickel of the bunch is going to be this 29S. Now, 29S, you begin to get a little bit more difficult, with that San Francisco minted mint mark on there. This one does also have some pleasing reverse toning. You can even see some of the rose pink in there on Mr. Black Diamond's back, which is pretty nice. But this is a very clean example. The luster for 29 isn't nearly as strong as some of those 1930s dates. But this one right here is just incredible. And more than likely, it's going to go into a registry set of other buffaloes. This Mint State 67 example sold for $9,956.25. All right, we have two dimes, and they're both pretty important in their own right. This 1929p coin that you see here is just amazing. It's a Philadelphia, and yeah, it's a little bit earlier date, but keep in mind, some of these earlier dated, like 1920s Mercuries, Philadelphia specifically, I can't really speak for the Denvers and San Franciscos because those are tough. But this one right here is just an amazing looking coin. It is an NGC Mint State 67 plus. It does have full split bands, and it's also CAC certified. This one is also part of Sunset 144. And it did sell for $3,361.50. Now, you guys are familiar with the 1916D Mercury dime. This is, of course, the premier key date of the entire series. Now, for the first time in quite some time, we have an annex graded coin on display. But check out some of the statistics on this label. It's been graded AU53 details. It does have corrosion, which indicates that it was probably buried in the dirt for a number of years, and it's gotten some of this black stuff on here, this gunk, that is pretty tough. It's calcified or something to the point where you can't really effectively scrape that off. But I have a feeling that this coin had that black gunk all over the surface of the coin. All right, so someone went a little heavy-handed with some polish cleaner and a cloth or a sponge or something, because they tried mightily to remove as much of this black corrosive as they could, and it just didn't work out. You can see a lot of these hairlines that are indicative of a cleaning, which is unfortunate. I would say that it's kind of hard to say what the coin looked like before the attempted cleaning. It looks like they didn't do much on the reverse, but this obverse, which is normally the main focal point of a coin, really got it good, man. But this one right here, in spite of the cleaning, in spite of the corrosion, this is a coin that's still sold or managed to sell for $3,834. Now, the net technical grade of AU-53 is important, all right, in spite of the cleaning and the corrosion. People are looking for, or collectors rather, are looking for very nice kind of like more details type grades, regardless if they're, cleaned or some sort of other details type damage. But this one right here, almost $4,000 realized. All right, so we have a few quarters and we're done for the day, guys. So we have a 1964P, the final date of the 90% silver quarter, and we have one right here. So this one is all sorts of full of character. It's got lots of toning. You got some of the nebulous multicolor toning on the uppers. You have a really nice kind of golden hue on the reverse with little hints of rose pink in there. This one, loads of character, probably an album coin or something like that at one point. But this one here is a PCGS Mint State 67 Plus, Secure Plus Shield, graded coin. Very, very nice again. Early 60s silver. Really tough and very rare to find in grades above Mint State 65. This one right here, sold for $2,431.12. And the final coin. This one's going to surprise you. It's a 1942S. Not particularly a tough date. I've actually purchased a few really nice Mint State 42S's in my lifetime for around 30 to 40 bucks. You could do a whole lot worse, trust me. But this one right here is a PCGS Mint State 68. Of course, it's a registry set coin. That's about what you would expect for something like this. But the market responded in a huge way. This one sold for $5,312.25. Again, keep in mind, these are available out there in mint state condition. There's even reported to be a few BU rolls left out there in the world today. All right, so if you needed one, again, this is a coin that's accessible in mint state condition. It's going to be really coming down to finding the best possible example for the money, because they are out there for under 50 bucks. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to go ahead and do it for this edition of the Monday Market Report. I want to thank you guys again for joining in. This is a favorite of mine, week in, week out. Hopefully you guys got a few takeaways. Would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Do you have a favorite coin on the list? Have you seen a coin maybe on eBay or somewhere, a graded coin, a modern, that warrants some sort of attention? I would love to hear it because, we might be able to share that particular coin on a future edition of the Monday Market Report and put your name to it. There you go. Sounds like a deal to me. But that's going to go ahead and do it. I hope you guys had a wonderful time, because I did. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. What are you waiting for? And don't, feel free to hit that bell for instant notifications. It does still work. Trust me, after all these years, that bell is not rusty. It makes a dinging sound, and it will notify you. But that's going to do it. Hopefully, you guys have a wonderful Monday. Don't work so hard. The weather's getting warm in my area. Hopefully, it is in yours as well. I'll see you guys next time. Coinaholics, we are discovering together, and that's going to do it. See you guys.